All right, guys, we're going to get into this. Another Men Against Nonsense, the movement. This is not entertainment. We're discussing serious topics, things that men need to think about as they navigate through this world, okay? And how to be contributors to society, lights in the world, rather, as the Bible would say. Let your light so shine, right? And to those of you who listen to this channel who are not religious, um, it's okay. Maybe one day you will be. I'm not going to. I'm not going to say anything to try to deliberately offend you. Just understand the space that I'm coming from. You know, okay. My position on being a man against nonsense comes from my belief in a God, a personal creator. You know, that just is what it is. And speaking of which, this video we're getting ready to get into, I mean, I saw the headline. Look for an article. I didn't read through the article yet, so we're gonna read it together. But this thing disturbs me from what I'm seeing. So the headline on this video out of CBS News is husband wife murder suicide at Jehovah's Witness Hall. Okay, now this um allegedly took place on December 25th, 2022. Okay, so let's get into this and we're going to talk about this. It's very sad to hear these kind of things, but we have to discuss this, men, because somewhere along the line, a lot of us are failing and we're hurting others because of our failures. And that's not good. That's not cool. But let's get into this.
This is CBS News Flash. I'm Courtney Keeley in New York. A man shot and killed his wife and then himself at a Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall, according to police in Thornton, Colorado. The Adams County Coroner's Office is confirming their identities amid an ongoing investigation. Buses from Texas dropped off more than 100 migrants outside Vice.
So they're going into other stories there. Excuse me. Excuse me. Um, let's go to this article out of the New York Post. Let's go to this article out of the New York Post. This came out December 25th. Posted by David Proper. So it says, excuse me, a husband and a wife were found dead after murder suicide Christmas morning inside Jehovah's Witnesses Hall in Colorado. With an ongoing probe into suspicious devices also discovered at the grim scene, police said. Now, here this raises some very important questions to me. So, one, if you believe in a God, um, what would compel you one to kill yourself, let alone to kill your wife, right? That's a problem. Even if you didn't believe in a God, what would compel you to kill yourself, right? And I know euthanasia is the big topic nowadays. In Europe, in Canada, I think in New Zealand, in Australia, there are these movements of euthanasia, which I am totally against. Totally against. There's no reason to end your life, even if you're suffering fit from physical pain. Okay, you could take the rest of your life and do positive things for other people as you suffer, and that would make your life a lot better. But most people don't think like that. We think from a selfish perspective. We just want to end our pain. But that's a video and conversation for another day. But it is tangent to this topic. Here, a man, according to this article and according to the news clip, um, murdered his wife and then committed suicide. Like, what? How bad does your life have to be for you to do that? I personally cannot think of anything that would make me take my own life, let alone take my wife's life. I can't think of anything. So it baffles me. And so what I have to say about that to this end is that, men, we have to understand that nowhere is it promised that your life would be easy, especially if you're a religious person and you read any religious text. I've never read any religious text from any religion of any kind. Maybe there is one out there, but I've never seen one that says that as long as you're in the physical realm, you're going to have an easy life. I've never seen that in any religious book ever. And if you're a Christian and you read the Holy Bible, The Holy Bible tells you in this world you will have much tribulation. Okay, you'll have a lot of trials and tribulation. The book of James talks about count it all joy when you fall into diverse tribulations. That's trials. Okay, because it's there for you to develop patience and strengthen your faith in your Creator. Okay, but let's keep going. So, Thornton, Colorado police said husband fatally shot his wife and then turned a gun on himself around 9 a.m. At the Kingdom Hall in the city, 11 miles from Denver. The man and woman who were not identified were married and former members of the Kingdom Hall congregation. Now, that's interesting. Did they commit suicide because they were excommunicated from the community? Even still, if I was a part of a religious community, okay, and I was excommunicated, whether I was Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, Mormon, whatever, right? Whatever it is. Why is your relationship with your Creator determined by someone saying you can't attend our services? If you believe in Creator, your relationship with your Creator is supposed to be personal. Personal. It's a personal, at least that's what most of these groups teach, is that it's a personal relationship, and therefore being excommunicated and unallowed to attend services should not change your relationship with your Creator. So then what do? You start your own Bible study at your own house. And you Bible study with your family. That's what you do. You don't kill yourself. Okay, nothing should make you that hopeless, men. Nothing in this world should make you that hopeless. Okay, and as the world gets darker and darker, nothing should make you that hopeless. All right, me personally, my hope is in the next world. Okay, the next age. Okay, and whether the world wants to believe it or not, God is going to establish a kingdom on earth and establish true peace on this world. And we won't see the things that are happening now. But until then, I have to keep my eyes on that kingdom and not all of the darkness of this kingdom that's ruling the world today. But let's keep going. Police originally tweeted there was a large law enforcement presence at the Kingdom Hall, but there was no active threat to the community. The Sherwood congregation, okay, here we are, Sherwood congregation of the Jehovah's Witnesses said in a statement that they were shocked and deeply saddened by the shooting. We are shocked and deep, quote, this is a quote. Let's read the quote here. Let's highlight the quote. Quote, we are shocked and deeply saddened by the unprovoked attack and loss of life at our Kingdom Hall in Thornton. We are cooperating with the authorities as they carry out their investigation into the event, the congregation told ABC 7 Denver. Here's another quote. Quote, our hearts go out to the family and friends of those who have been traumatized by the heinous actions that took the life of an innocent victim and threatened the lives of many others. We are praying for the families of all those affected. The Thornton Fire Department had initially responded to a reported fire at the Kingdom Hall, but when they arrived, they didn't spot a fire, instead discovering a domestic issue. The department's public information officer told ABC 7 Denver. The police department were then called to the scene to take over. The news station also reported the Adams County Fire Rescue said the incident was domestic, though didn't elaborate. So again, looking at the situation at hand, again, obviously I do not know all the details. And usually it takes a while for all the details of these stories to be reported. I'm recording this on December 26, 2022. So the details won't come out for days later. But here's the thing. So now let's talk about the nonsense, right? If you are living in despair, okay, and you decide to take yourself out, there is no honor in taking other people out with you. I recommend against suicide. I am highly against suicide. I am adamantly against suicide. I am vehemently against suicide because I believe in hope beyond this present world. But for those who don't have that same disposition, again, I still advocate against suicide. Life has highs and lows, guys. Highs and lows. Sometimes things will be low and sometimes things will be high. Do you have the strength of character to live through the lows? Life is like traveling through a mountain range. You're going to go up a mountain, you're going to come down to a valley. You're going to go up a mountain, you're going to come down to a valley. Everything is not upward mobile. Up and up and up and up and up and up. No, sir. That's not real life. And you can talk to anyone who's lived, 60, 70 plus years. They'll tell you life has its highs and lows. And you have to have strong enough character to be able to navigate through those things and not live and wallow in despair. This brings me to another point. Men, we have to rule our emotions. Rule your emotions. I'm not telling you don't have feelings. That would be nonsense. What I'm telling you is do not live in those feelings. If you feel a spell of depression, you feel sad, you feel hopeless, just remember, those feelings can change if you do something about it, right? I mentioned in a previous video, I was 4 months behind in rent and over $2,000 in back water bill. I went and got 2 jobs. I worked 85 hours a week. I paid all of those debts off in a month and a half. Okay. Do you know how low I felt on that time? I'm looking at my family. I could barely feed them what little I had left. All because I decided to put my faith in someone who didn't come through on a contract. And I sat around waiting for that contract, and instead of moving on, I held out. I depleted my savings, and as a result, my family suffered for a while. But that was my fault because I'd moved sooner to make changes instead of feeling sorry for myself. I could have made things better. Things would have turned out a lot smoother if would have gotten active sooner. So that's that. You don't have to stay in a state of depression or feeling despair. You have to have hope that things will be better, but you also have to take action. Okay, blessings do come, but blessings don't just fall in your lap either. Okay? You have to keep working, keep striving. Then the blessings will come. They will come if you keep your faith. They will come. But you can't sit on your hands and wait for a handout. If your life is hard, I don't care what you're going through. I don't care if you just lost your job. I don't care if you just lost. Let me not say that I don't care. It doesn't matter if you lost your job. It doesn't matter if you lost a loved one. You have to keep going. Keep going till it's your time to go. Okay? When your death is out of your hands, when you cannot control it. Okay? And hopefully anyone listening to the sound of my voice is blessed with a long life, but we know that may not always be the case. But until then, you keep being a light in the world. You keep doing good for your family, your friends, your community, your city, your state. But everything starts at home, and it starts with you being a positive person, being a moral and ethical person, and then branching that out to your immediate family, then your wider family, then your community, okay? Then your city and your state. There's nothing honorable about killing yourself and killing your wife. And don't be hopeless. Don't stay in a state of hopelessness. It's not good for you, your wife, your children. Okay? Try to be positive as much as possible, even if you're going through rough times. Okay? So I think I'm gonna leave that there. Just listen, guys. There is hope out here. There is hope. There is hope for the future. Okay? Whether you're an atheist or whether you're religious, there is hope for the future. And I hope that if you're an atheist, you'll come to a knowledge of God the Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And until then, I hope that there are people praying for you that you will come into that knowledge. I don't believe in forcing my religion on anyone, but if you ask me about it, I'll tell you about it. And I know that my system of belief is the reason why I am the person I am today, albeit I am not perfect. No one is. Okay? I will misspeak. I will say things wrong. I will get things wrong. But my heart is to do good for my fellow man. That's why I even started this channel, Men Against Nonsense. So that I can support men beyond my personal circle. My personal circle. Okay? But there is hope beyond this world. There is a kingdom coming. There will be a better world. Until then, we have to endure. And do as much good as we can while we're enduring. And sometimes we'll suffer. But suicide is not the way. Suicide is not the answer. Murdering other people is not the answer. It never has been, it never will be. Anyway, if you appreciate this content, please subscribe, share, press that like button. Support links are in the description below. You guys have a blessed one. I'll see you on the next one.